Thank you for tuning in to a new episode of the Microdose Diet. So today I want to talk to you about being the spectator of your life versus being the director of your life. And I can't really think of anything more awful than being the spectator of your own life, incapable of viscerally experiencing your life as the main character of the most important story ever unfolding. Paul Newman used to say that he had a sense of being an observer of his life, but he had the sense of watching something, but not living something. And you know what? I used to feel that way too. And I speak with many high achievers who also have the same perception of being emotionally anesthetized. And I mean, what is sadder than this? Observing one's life, but not experiencing it, living in total autopilot, a life that was built by conditioning, rules, being socially acceptable. I mean, what a shame is that? And when I look at all these years where I have wasted my time not participating in my life, reading and playing a script that was written by others, it really makes me angry. At the same time, I'm happy and hopeful that I'm off the merry-go-round and I regained my rightful place as the writer, the director, and the producer of my life. So if you too want to know how you could get off at the next stop, take back control of your life and write yourself the script of your own life and finally experience your life first and, well, stay on. You will discover how you can get your real, authentic life back. My name is Peggy van de Plassche. I am a former banker and venture capitalist. I now speak about the psychedelic industry and of the benefits of the Microdose Diet, which is a 90-day plan for success, passion, and happiness. And you will learn today about the third part of the Microdose Diet. So you can listen or watch part 1 and part 2. That's part 3, and part 4 is yet to come. So in the 2 previous editions, you learned about the first 6 weeks of the Microdose Diet. So the first 3 weeks were all about clearing the physical, mental, emotional cobwebs and assess your life, where you are with your life, but also setting your intention of what is the desired state you want to be in. So that was the first 3 weeks. Again, go back to part 1. We have a video, we have a podcast, we have a newsletter. You can get all the information you need to understand what you're supposed to do during these first 3 weeks. The next 3 weeks, which is part 2, we introduce microdosing psilocybin, but also tapping. And the goal is to calm your nervous system. You need to get off the fight, flight, freeze answer, and you need to get off, and it's a foundational element of retaking control of your life. If you are already living in a nervous overload, and I mean, if you're based in the Western Hemisphere, you know, you're already living in nervous and anxiety land. There is no way, if you're already at the maximum of your nervous system capacity, there is no way that you can go after big dreams and big opportunities, which is why it is so important to calm your body when you want to rewire your brain. That is one of the missing pieces in most programs. Just focus on mindset. I'm so sorry, it's not going to cut it. You need to have a calm nervous system. So that's really what we were working on part 2. Today, we're discussing part 3, which are the next 3 weeks. For these next 3 weeks, you're going to work on emotional wounds. Yes, I said it. Emotions are actually an important part of experiencing your life and reaching your dreams. And I know you have likely spent a lot of time in validating and diminishing your feelings. So what I'm saying is probably not really resonating with you. You're like, don't like emotions, don't like feelings. But hold on a second. Imagine for 1 second that one of your emotional wounds is related to, being rejected. You did a play at school, maybe you did a presentation, maybe you participated in a physical game, soccer or so on. And, your performance was not stellar. And your little friends, your schoolmates mocked you. What do you think is going to be your reaction when you have to interact now in front of an audience? You're going to be back in your 5, 10, 12-year-old self in flight, fight, or freeze mode. Do you think you will likely have performance anxiety and probably don't perform at your best? Don't you think that to reach your big goals, you won't have to perform at another level than you're performing now? Which is why it is so important to address the emotional wounds. Because if you are systematically going back to this place when you were 7 years old and little kids were making fun of you because you misspelled something in a competition, well, you're never going to be able to achieve your dream, because to achieve your dreams, it is very likely you're going to have to speak to an audience, whether it's a client, whether it's a job interview, anything. So all these wounds that, you've been trying to forget about, they're still running your programs. They're still running your life. And as long as you're not healing them, you're stuck. You're never going to go where you want to go. And you're just going to continue living the small life that others wrote for you. So these emotional wounds taught you to pretend, to change who you were, what you wanted, what you liked in order to be socially acceptable. You are likely playing very small. I know for decades I played very small for many reasons, from the failures I had to people rejecting me because they didn't like me to shine. And it's highly likely to be your case as well. No one really likes anyone who's shining, even if they deserve to shine. Unfortunately, most people don't like that. And not deep down, you believe that it is not okay to be who you really are, that you're really going to be rejected if you do so, which makes it impossible for you to authentically live your life, to deeply experience your life, because you built so many layers upon layers of protection and fakeness over your real self. I mean, solving the triumvirate of overtaxed nervous system, unresolved emotional wounds, and unrecognized limiting belief, that is the gateway to your life. So what we're going to do in the next 3 weeks in this part 3 is really about accelerating the transformation we've started in the first 6 weeks. So we're going to increase the frequency at which you're taking your psilocybin. So for the 3 weeks prior, you were taking 100 milligram every 3 days. Now you're going to take 100 milligram every other day for the next 3 weeks. So week 7 to week 9. So during this part of the microdose diet, you will focus on a common boulder, which is a problem we all have to some degree, not feeling good enough as you are. I want you to visualize yourself in different situations, social settings, business meetings, with your partner, with your family, with your friends, speaking on a stage, asking for a raise, receiving a compliment, negotiating, saying no to someone. So many situations you can put yourself into via visualization. Start with what seems the most natural to you, and slowly, what is more uncomfortable. So for example, I knew, because I was a former people pleaser, that for me, asking for something or saying no was extremely uncomfortable. So that would be the type of situation I would put myself into mentally. And then I would feel, and you will feel when you do that, an internal tug of war. So for me, it was very easy. I would blush. I would feel my body contract. I would feel getting very agitated. Maybe you will have your stomach churn. Maybe your throat will tighten. So this is an indicator that you are not feeling okay acting in these situations. You don't think it is okay to be yourself in these specific situations. So as soon as you feel this discomfort, I want you to start tapping. And we went through tapping in the last episode, the part 2. So you can refer to that if you don't really understand what tapping is. I have also a lot of videos and podcasts explaining what tapping is. So go back to that if you don't know exactly what it is. Please note as well that you might have difficulty feeling your feeling. That is not uncommon because we've been invalidated so much for our feelings that we're just, in our mind, we're just in our head. So do the tapping regardless, it will come back slowly. So in the comment, I will put some link to videos you can do. In my book, The Microdose Diet, you will have the link to my own videos. But in the meantime, you know what? I put the link to some videos from great practitioners. Start with that, and you will really start feeling a difference. I want also for you to journal. We discussed journaling in the past. It is very, very important to give a target to your brain. When you journal, you obviously show the progress you've made, but you also put on paper what are the moments you might have. So these are some of the questions I want you to ponder. Where are you on a 0 to 10 scale for the area you were looking to improve? So again, part 1, we were looking at different areas of your life that you wanted to improve. Where are you now after 6 weeks? Have other areas of your life improved too? What is your overall score now? What is the percentage of improvement in your score? What benefits have you experienced already in terms of performance, mental, physical, mental health, spirituality? How far do you feel you have come? What did you learn over the last few weeks regarding your limiting patterns and beliefs? How confident do you feel in your ability to be more successful, more in control of your life, more able to decide for yourself? So you still have 3 weeks to go. So from week 7 to week 9, I want you to do what we just discussed, and then you will have another 3 weeks to go. So right now you're just at half of the program, and I'm sure you've already made a lot of progress. So take the time to celebrate that as well. One thing I want to say is that I'm going to start a 12-week online group program. So everything I've been explaining you right now, I will do with a group. We're going to have weekly calls, and you're going to have the opportunity to interact with me, to interact with your mates if you choose so. The launch will be early June, and there's going to be a limited availability because obviously I want to make sure we're a small group and we can work well together. So I will post about the registration process very soon, so you can you definitely register when I do that. In the meantime, listen, look at the YouTube channel, listen to the podcast. You can look at my newsletter on LinkedIn, on Substack. I have tons of resources out there, so please subscribe, comment, and all that great stuff, because when you do that, people can also find the resources more easily. So you're helping over as well in their own progress. So thank you so much for listening. I'm really excited about what you're doing for yourself, your progress. and really happy to work with you. Again, it's going to be a 12-week online group program. It's going to be super fun, call every week, and you're going to see such a difference in your life after 90 days. You won't believe it. So that's going to be amazing. So thank you so much for watching and listening, and looking forward to seeing you next week. Bye.